Hello and welcome back. As always, my name is Leyzar and today we're gonna talk about Zarya, the upcoming Heroes of the Storm ranged warrior. She's been showcased at Gamescom 2016 and now we know her abilities and her talents. Just keep in mind that this information may not be final, also not all of it is 100% detailed. So with that out of the way, we're gonna jump into her basic abilities. Starting off with her Q, Particle Grenade. On an 8-second cooldown it has 4 charges. Also you should note that there is a 1-second cooldown between spamming charges. Launch a particle grenade that deals damage to enemies within the area, deals 50% damage to structures, so it's less effective at sieging, but no problem in using this one for wave clear or damaging heroes. W is Personal Barrier. On a 12-second cooldown, gain a shield that absorbs damage for 3 seconds, pretty clear and to the point. Her E ability, Shield Ally, also on a 12-second cooldown, grants an allied hero a shield that absorbs damage for 3 seconds. Yeah, W and E are pretty much the same, except that your E can be used on allies and it cannot be used on yourself. Also, W Personal Barrier has a much beefier shield than her E Shield Ally. Alright, let's move on now to her heroics. First heroic, Graviton Surge. On a whopping 2-minute cooldown, launch a gravity bomb that detonates after 1 second and draws enemy heroes towards the center for 2.5 seconds. Obviously it's a huge cooldown, but you can see the reason. The combo potential of this heroic ability is absolutely insane. Awesome, cannot wait to play with this one. Second heroic ability is Expulsion Zone. On a much lower 45-second cooldown, launch a gravity bomb that deals damage and creates an expulsion zone for 3.5 seconds. Enemies who enter the affected area are knocked back and have their movement speed reduced by 50% for 1.5 seconds. Notice how this one does do some damage, while Graviton Surge, even with the huge cooldown, does no damage at all. From what limited gameplay footage I saw so far, Expulsion Zone is best to be used to cut off an enemy's team's retreat. Something like cut off their way back to their gate, to their core, or something like that, or a bush which they're trying to escape, okay? Try to force an engagement with Expulsion Zone. This was the best case scenario I saw for this specific heroic. Also, please take note, it's only a 45-second cooldown, so a much more generous cooldown than on Graviton Surge. Her trait is Energy. Each time Zarya's Personal Barrier or Shield Ally absorbs 10 damage, her energy is increased by 1. Each point of energy increases Zarya's damage by 2%. After 0.5 seconds, energy decays by 3 per second. So once we're out of combat, our energy is gonna start going down the tube pretty quickly. Her energy is capped to 100 without taking talents into consideration, so without talents we're gonna get a maximum bonus of 200% bonus damage for Zarya. So with that gone, let's move on to talents level 1. Feel the Heat is the first option at level 1 and it's a talent for our passive. Zarya's basic attack deals 50% additional damage to enemies in melee range. Now if you haven't noticed, Zarya's basic attack works like a frontal beam AoE effect. Think like Tychus's Q ability, only it's not a frontal cone, it's a frontal beam effect, and that's how her basic attack works, pretty much like it works in Overwatch. Second option at level 1, Maximum Charge, another talent for our passive. This has a passive component to it and a quest component to it. Regen Globes now instantly grant 20 energy, clear cut to the point, and there's also the quest. Spend 120 seconds at or above 50 energy and you will gain an additional 25 maximum energy. So we get to increase our energy cap after we spend 120 seconds at or above 50 energy. Next talent at level 1, Demolitions Expert. This is a talent for our Q and it's a quest talent. Each 5 enemies heroes hit by Particle Grenade reduces his recharge rate by 0.25 up to 2 seconds. Now I'm not sure, because it doesn't say anywhere here permanently. I'm not sure if we have to build this one up in every single team fight, or is it gonna be permanent, this 2 seconds reduction on recharge rate after we hit 40 heroes. The quest reward, once Particle Grenade has hit 40 enemy heroes, its radius is increased by 15%. And you might think 15% is not all that big of a deal, but keep in mind that the normal radius of our Q ability is pretty hefty indeed, so that 15% should really matter. Final talent at level 1, Together We Are Strong, a talent for our Shield Ally ability. Every 11 damage done by allies with while under the shield ally contributes 1 energy up to 25 energy per shield. So normally we will only get energy if somebody is attacking our shield, whether it be our personal shield or our shield ally. Now we get to build energy through our allies when they deal damage, just as long as they are affected by our shield ally ability. We're gonna be moving on to level 4. First option, Give Me 20, another talent for our E ability, and it's another quest talent. Regeneration Globes increases shield ally absorb amount by 15 up to 300 permanently, so it does have a cap at 300. a pretty 20 globes. Yeah, we're gonna need 20 globes to max out the shield bonus on this one, and the reward after collecting 20 regen globes permanently reduces the cooldown of shield ally by 3 seconds. Normally the cooldown is 12 seconds. With this one we're gonna get a 9-second cooldown, and we're gonna be able to mitigate a whole bunch more damage for our team. Next talent at level 4, I am the strongest, a talent for RW. Personal barrier absorbs additional damage, pretty clear cut and to the point. Next talent at level 4, defensive shielding, a talent for our passive. Upon expiration or breaking, personal barrier and shield ally reduces the damage of the next 2 hero basic attacks within 12 seconds by 75%. So we're getting, after the shield expires or breaks, we're gonna get 2 stacks of block pretty much. Okay, so more damage mitigation, and you will see this trend out throughout Zarya's talents. She is what I would call a supporty utility warrior, kind of like that. Final option at level 4, speed barrier. Shield ally increases the allied hero's movement speed by 25% for the entire duration, which is 3 seconds. Something like this I think will work really nice on maybe Illidan Stormrange or another melee assassin. I think would benefit greatly from this one. And like I said, this whole trend of support the utility warrior. First option at level 7, to the limit. This is a talent for our passive. While above 50 energy, your basic attack size is increased by 35%. Let's keep in mind that our basic attack is AoE, and with this increased range, it should mean that we're able to hit multiple targets a whole lot more easier. Next talent also for our passive is called Hit Me. Damage absorbed by Zarya's shields contributes 20% more energy. So normally we get 1 energy for every 10 damage we absorb through our shield. With this talent we're gonna get 1.2 energy for every 10 damage we absorb. The next talent at level 7, pinpoint accuracy. This is a talent for our Q ability. Particle grenade deals 40% more damage to enemies hit by the center of the blast. Very interesting, this one. Remember, the Chromie has a Dragon's Breath talent pretty much similar to this one. We're gonna get an inner circle telemark inside the telemark, and in that small area we're gonna deal 40% more damage through our Q ability. Pretty much again how Chromie's Dragon Breath works. I think at level 4 or 7, I forget the talent here for that specific talent. Final option at level 7, explosive barrier, a talent for our W. Upon expiration or break-in, personal barrier explodes, dealing damage to nearby enemies. And I think Medivh has a similar talent to this one, just I don't remember what talent here. We're gonna have to see what is the actual explosion telemark for this one, as the actual damage amount, I think it's at level 7, this 127, but I might be wrong. So a bit of an offensive option here for Zarya. We're gonna skip level 10 because those are the heroics, moving to level 13. First option, endurance training. This is a talent for our passive again. While at or above 75 energy, Zarya gains resistance, reducing all damage taken by 25%. So it's gonna matter a whole lot how efficient, how good we are at actually maintaining our energy level to that amount. 25% less damage taken from all sources is a big deal. I forget what this one is called. It's not relentless, that's the CC thing. I think it's resistant, but I might be wrong on this one. Pretty potent talent, but again, it's gonna depend on the player, how good we are at actually maintaining that level of energy. Next talent at level 13, Unstoppable Competitor, a talent for our W. Personal barrier makes you unstoppable for up to 1.5 seconds. Wow, unstoppable on demand. This is definitely something again. But it's only for our W, so it's only for us. It's not for shield ally, so we can only make ourselves unstoppable, but still nothing to sneeze at. Next option at 13, Spell Barrier, another talent for our personal shield. Upon expiration or breaking, Zarya gains a spell shield that reduces ability damage taken by 75% for 3 seconds. So we get spell shield after our W runs out or is damaged down. Wow, this is pretty potent. Heavy damage mitigation for Zarya, I see. Final option at 13, Pain is temporary. This is an activated ability separate with a 30-second cooldown. Activate to consume all energy and gain a shield that absorbs 0.5 of Zarya's maximum health per energy consumed and lasts for 3 seconds. Zarya may only have one personal active shield on herself at a time, meaning we cannot stack the two. We cannot stack W with the Pain is temporary. So let's think about this one. Let's say we have 100 energy and we activate this one. We're gonna get a shield equal to 50% of our maximum health, but only for 3 seconds. Even more damage mitigation. Very, very interesting. I don't know about this talent. Again, the cooldown is pretty nice, but it's also dependent on energy. Let's move on to level 16. Born in Battle, another talent for our passive. While at or above 75 energy, Zarya's cooldown regenerate 25% faster. Wow. Note how it says Zarya's cooldowns. Yeah. That means her heroic ability as well, I'm guessing. Okay, because it doesn't say basic cooldown, basic ability cooldown, it says cooldowns. Yeah, Zarya's cooldown. So it's gotta mean the heroic abilities as well. We have something like this on certain supports. It's called Hardened Focus. And while you're above 80% life, I believe your basic ability cooldown recharge faster. However, this one relates to energy. The cooldowns will regenerate 25% faster. And from what text we have, I believe it's all cooldowns, meaning heroic as well. Okay, this might be a big deal for Zarya, and again, it's tied to energy. It's pretty clear at this point that it's gonna depend on us a whole lot on how efficient we are at maintaining our energy level. And at the end of the day, how did you actually build Zarya? Did you build into energy management? Because that might be a thing for her. Okay, I rambled on and off. Next talent, Plasma Shock. This is a talent for her Q ability. Particle Grenade slows the movement speed by 35% for 1 second to enemies near the center. Ooh, to enemies only. Okay, so only enemies near the center. Pretty much, she does have another center talent for her Q ability. We're gonna get some nice CC, 35% for 1 second. And keep in mind that our Q has 4 charges, and we got an 8-second cooldown per charge without taking into account talents. We can theoretically keep our opponents perma CC'd until the end of the fight with this one. Theoretically, at least. Pretty good. Next talent at 16, Cleansing Shield, a talent for E ability. Shield ally removes all disabling effects and reduces duration of further disabling effects by 50% for the duration. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. A cleanse. Oh my god, a warrior with a cleanse. Okay, I did not see this one coming. I gotta admit, I think it's the first time a non-support hero gets cleanse, and not only cleanse, you also get relentless. You also get relentless for the full 3-second duration. Shield ally removes all disabling effects and reduces duration of further disabling effects by 50% for the duration. Yeah, the duration of your E ability is 3 seconds, so not only do you cleanse, but you also add relentless for the full 3 seconds. Big deal, this one. You might want to have to pick up Zarya just for this, if not anything else. True, it does come kind of late at level 16. Final talent at 16, Gain Train, a talent for our E. Shield ally now grants an untalented shield to nearby ally upon impact. Oh, pretty much like Medivh can apply his shield to multiple target untalented version of his shield to multiple allies. Yeah, probably the splash range is gonna be similar, but we're gonna have to test and see how much is the actual splash range. I mean, if you need to be clumped up together, then this would be really good in a melee heavy team composition. Alright, finally let's get to level 20. First option, Gravity Kills. This is an upgrade to Graviton Surge. Increases Graviton Surge duration by 1 second, so from 2.5 to 3.5. And it would seem that it also adds some damage to the ability. I'm not sure on this one, okay? Next option, Clear Out. The upgrade to Expulsion Zone increases Expulsion Zone's radius by 15% and Zarya's maximum energy temporarily increased by 10 per enemy hero hit for 10 seconds. So basically you're gonna use this one when you're either gonna try to escape or force a team fight. In case you're using it when you're trying to force a team fight, that extra cap on energy, that higher cap on energy might come in useful. Other than that, I'm not so sure about this one. Grenadier, whatever, this one, a talent for our Q ability. All particle grenades charges are returned at once. You know what this means, right? It means that once every 8 seconds, without taking into account the recharge rate of the quest talent we have earlier, once every 8 seconds we're gonna get all 4 stacks of our Q ability, of our grenades. This might mean that it would be wise to heavily focus into a Q build. A grenade build for Zarya. Very interesting. Final option at 20. Unyielding Defender. This is an activated ability, a separate activated ability with a 45-second cooldown. Activate to reset the cooldowns of Personal Barrier and Shield Allies. So basically you can use your WE, then spam this one, activate this one, again 45-second cooldown, and WE again, so you can get quad shield. Something definitely very potent when it comes to damage mitigation. It's not something like a Storm Shield when you get to shield everybody within your range, but again, these shields are a bit more beefier from what I saw, and you get better control out of them as well, at least. Anyway guys, that's gonna do it for Zarya's talents and her abilities. What can I say? From the 2 heroes announced at Gamescom 2016, Alarak is definitely the one I had kind of been waiting for the longest while. I want from StarCraft, I wanted Alarak mainly, and of course Phoenix is still tops in my heart. But on paper, at least, Zarya, to my eye, seems a tad more interesting. I'm looking forward to reading what you guys think about this. Let me know in the comment section down below. I'm gonna thank you for watching. As always, my name has been Leyzar. Like, favorite, share, and subscribe if you enjoy the content, and I'll see you again soon.